Unilever has withdrawn a proposal to move its headquarters to the Netherlands amid protests from UK shareholders. The British-Dutch firm admitted the plan had not received support from a significant group of UK shareholders. Julianna has joined us around the desk to explain why have they done this?
So as we were flagging yesterday, there has been building momentum among UK shareholders against this move. A number of significant investors from Schroders to Aviva to Columbia Threadneedle and earlier this week Royal London, who were speaking out against the move on the basis that it would put them, it would be negative for UK shareholders. The stock would come out of the FTSE and index trackers would be forced to sell the shares. There was some uncertainty around Dutch withholding tax on dividends. So a number of reasons that UK shareholders were against the vote. The company had been very positive around it going through, but obviously they had to listen to shareholders. It became increasingly likely that the deal would, that the vote would fail should it come to it at the end of October. So this morning we heard that Unilever has decided to withdraw the vote.
Julianna, I've loved your coverage of this. Honestly, you filled me in with something. In fact, my hit earlier while you were racing to get on set was basically full of your information. Is this company losing its mind a little bit as well? Because, and I say this in the best possible way, Unilever is a great company. It has great products, and as Chris has mentioned earlier on, it's got a steady dividend. It is a steady company, which used to trade on about 8-9 times at the turn of the century. Now these trade on ridiculously high compared to where they did historically. But they get distracted about saving the world and being the greenest company on the planet. They're getting distracted about changing the headquarters and what have you, when actually what those activists really wanted and what the bid from, was it KK and Buffett? Was it Kraft and Buffett?
Heinz.
Yeah, Kraft and Buffett. What really exposed to me is this is a company that needs to get back to basics. It needs to roll its sleeve up and concentrate on underlying margins and underlying sales. I just wonder if they're constantly getting distracted from the key message here.
Well, I mean, part of this, the rationale for the simplification to this one legal entity structure is that it would give them more flexibility.
Will it help
on their
them sell
portfolio.
Magnum ice creams?
Well, it would
that's
give
what
them
I'm serious about.
It would give them the opportunity to change their portfolio, a little bit easier to buy and sell assets. And one thing they could do is simplify their portfolio. So the idea was that it would give them
Was it smart cutting themselves
optionality.
off, not cutting themselves off, but actually loosening the ties with the greatest capital markets on this planet, arguably with New York?
Potentially, but I mean, one thing that has become quite clear, their shareholders, their long-term shareholders are very committed to the company. And I think this move, that the fact that they've been listening to their UK shareholders should serve them well, potentially buy them a little bit more time. They've certainly got loyalty among that shareholder base and perhaps even more.
Well, I suppose the next question is, where does this leave the activists? What's the next step, and how do we go forward from here?
Well, one of the other pieces of rationale behind this move was that they would be able to cut administration costs significantly. So now that they are no longer have the upside from cutting admin costs, they're obviously under increasing pressure to find those cost cuts somewhere else in the business.
Hey everybody, it's Hadley Gamble from our new CNBC Middle East Bureau in Abu Dhabi. Thanks for stopping by. Now to watch more, you can try one of the videos that just popped up on your screen. And don't forget to subscribe.